Hey mathematicians, today our lesson is over multi-digit multiplication using area model. Our standard is 4.4D to use strategies and algorithms, including the standard algorithm, to multiply up to a 4-digit number by a 1-digit number and to multiply a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number. Let's go ahead and read our learning goal together. Today I am learning how to multiply multi-digit numbers so I can estimate and solve real-world problems. I'll know I have it when I can define and identify factor and product, explain that multiplication is the same as repeated addition, choose a strategy to fluently multiply 4 by 1-digit and 2 by 2-digit multiplication problems using area model, lattice method, or standard algorithm. Let's go ahead and look at our real-world connection. We know multiplication is a shortcut for counting equal groups. This skill is important for many real-life situations. This can come in handy when you are needing to purchase a large amount of items that come in bulk. So bulk items are something like you want a bar of soap, but you want to buy them in packs of 12 or packs of 18. That's bulk. They come in with a lot of items in one package. For example, you're planning a party and balloons come in packs of 12. Knowing how to multiply can help determine how many packs of balloons you need. You may want to find out how much your teacher's coffee addiction costs them every year. You will need to know how to multiply the cost of their daily coffee times the number of days they drink coffee in order to determine how much money they are spending on coffee. Let's quickly review our vocabulary before we get started on our lesson. Remember, multiplication is a shortcut for repeated addition using an algorithm or a strategy. A factor is a number that is multiplied. So in our example, we have a factor times a factor gives us a product. So 5 times 5 equals 25. The 5s are our factors. A product is the answer when two factors are multiplied together. So that 5 times 5 gives me a product of 25. Partial products is a way to multiply in which the ones, tens, hundreds are multiplied separately and then the products are added back together. So for this example, we're breaking apart this 20 into 20 and 3, and we're multiplying each of those partial products by 2. So we would multiply 20 times 2 and 3 times 2, and then we take those partial products and we combine them back together to get a total product. An expression is a mathematical phrase without an equal sign. An equation is a number sentence that shows two quantities are equal. So remember, equation, equal. It has an equal sign. An expression does not. All right, let's go ahead and get started on our mini lesson for today. So let's quickly review what we know about multiplication. It's just repeated addition. It gives us a shortcut called an algorithm. That's a fancy way to say strategy. Let's look at an example. Bella was setting the table. There are 8 people eating dinner and each person gets 3 utensils, a fork, a knife, and a spoon. How many utensils are on the table? So we could use repeated addition. We're going to add 3 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. We're going to add that 3 and we would get 24 utensils. We could use equal groups. We would need 8 equal groups, and in each group we would put 3. We could use an array where we have 8 columns and 3 rows for a total of 24, or we could use a number line counting by 3s. So we would need to count by 3s 8 times. We would finally land on 24. Just like when you learn to read, you need to know letters and sounds. It helps to know your basic multiplication facts from a times table in order to be a fluent mathematician. So we're going to be putting these times tables, times table in our journals, and I'm also going to link this video for you. All right, area model is the strategy of multiplication that we're learning today. Area model multiplication decomposes factors by place value, expanded form, and uses an area model to multiply each place individually, giving us partial products. Then we add the sections back together to find our total product. Let's go ahead and look at an example for a 4-digit by a 1-digit example. There are 4 bins of stuffed animals at a toy store. Each bin contains 1,204 stuffed animals. How many stuffed animals are there in all? So we know this is a 4 by 1 digit because one of our numbers has 1 digit, a single digit, the 4, and one of our numbers has 4 digits, 1,204. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 digits in it. So we know we're going to be multiplying because they're asking us for a total. So our number is going to get larger. We're going to need 4 groups, and in each group we're going to need 1,204. Well, that's a lot to count. So I'm going to show you an easier way to multiply this using area model. So we're going to start by drawing our area model. If we're multiplying a 4-digit number by a 1-digit number, we need 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, and 1 row. We're then going to decompose our factors into expanded form and place them in their respective locations in the area model. So when we decompose 1,204, we get 1 1,000s, 2 hundreds, 0 tens, and 4 ones. So notice I've placed those expanded forms each above their own column, and then we're multiplying every single one of those places by 4. We're going to multiply each place by the single digit, leaving partial products. So I'm going to start and multiply 4 times 4, which gives me a product of 16. 4 times 0, which gives me a product of 0. 4 times 200, okay, if I notice, I'm just dropping these zeros down. So if I have 2 zeros here, I should have 2 zeros in my product. That means I'm only multiplying 2 times 4, giving me 8. So 200 times 4 gives me a product of 800. Same thing for my thousands place. I can drop those 3 zeros down, and then I'm only left multiplying 1 times 4, giving me a product of 4,000. So now I have all my partial products. Then I'm going to add our partial products to get a total product. So I'm going to make sure that I line up my place values, and then add. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 6 gives me 6. 0 plus 0 plus nothing plus 1 gives me 1. 0 plus 8 gives me 8. 4 plus nothing gives me 4 for a total product of 4,816. So I'm going to go ahead and link this video for you as well. It's a video demonstrating how to do 4 by 1 multiplication on blank lined paper. Let's go ahead and look at an example for a 2 by 2 digit equation. The U.S. soccer team was calculating the number of minutes they have practiced to prepare for their big game. If they practice for 75 minutes a day for 45 days, how many minutes did they practice in all? So we know that we're going to need to multiply because we're looking for a total. We're looking for a total number of minutes, so we're going to multiply 75 minutes times 45 days. So in setting up our area model, we're going to start by drawing our boxes. If we're multiplying a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number, we need 1, 2 columns and 1, 2 rows. So it almost looks like a square that's been broken down into 4 smaller boxes. I'm then going to decompose each factor into expanded form. One factor goes across the top, so we're going to write each add-in above the box, so 70 plus 5. And one factor goes down the right side, so we'll write each of those add-ins on the right side of the box. Next, we're going to follow each add-in down and over where our 2 numbers meet, and we'll write the product in that square. So I'm going to start by multiplying this 5 by 40 and 5 by 5. So if I multiply 5 times 40, I'm going to first bring over this 0 from the 40, so I have 1 0. And then 5 times 4 is 20, which gives me a product of 200. Next, I'm going to multiply 5 times 5, which will give me a product of 25. Next, I'm going to multiply this 70 by 40 and 70 times 5. So if I multiply this 70 times 40, notice I have 1 0 in the 40, 1 0 in the 70, so I should have 1, 2 zeros in my product. Then 7 times 4 gives me a product of 28 for a total product of 2,800. And last, I'm going to multiply 70 times 5. So I'm going to bring that 0 down from the 70, and then all I need to do is multiply 7 times 5 for 35 for a total of 350. So now that I have all my partial products, I'm going to add all of our partial products to get a total product. So let's make sure that our place values are lined up. All my ones, tens, hundreds, thousands are lined up. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5 equals 5. 0 plus 5 plus 0 plus 2 equals 7. 8 plus 3 plus 2 equals 13. So I'm going to drop the 3, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 equals 3 for a total product of 3,375. So I'm also going to link this video. It's an area model multiplication using blank lined paper for a 2x2 digit area model. All right, let's do our check for understanding. When multiplying using an area model, we decompose the factors using what? What do we use? We use expanded form. All right, guys, I'll see you in just a minute for our guided practice.